Vamos a grabar. We're gonna record the class. And let's start seated for just a moment so we can pay attention to our neck. So, everybody, let's just take a moment and put our hands here on our thighs. So, sit in a cross legged position. If you want to be up on a sittable, that works too, either a chair or like I have this little cushion here. And let's just close our eyes and take a few breaths to do a little physical inventory. So, as you inhale, just think about where you're feeling what. So maybe Barda's knees, neck and shoulders. Just check in without having to move or do anything. Acknowledge the sensations that are just persistent in your body. And then let's let your breath kind of elongate. And start with your breath to begin to center your weight on your two sitting bones. So if it helps you to rock a little bit forward and a little bit back, just notice how your core responds to your weight moving forward, to your weight moving back, feeling yourself grow a little tall as you move back. Good. So now with your spine upright a little bit longer than maybe we began, take your hands here to your ribs and inhale and move the rib cages out to the sides, and then exhale and feel the muscles of the belly knit together and support you. So let's do that 2 more times. You'll inhale and exhale, feeling your center pull together, feeling yourself grow just a little taller. Inhale and then exhale. So let's pause, and if it helps you to keep your eyes closed just so you can pay attention to sensations, that's great. So let's move your chin down and up a few times. And as you do this, notice as your chin moves up, maybe you feel a little stretch in the front of your throat. Good. Letting that whole area just move out a hair. And then as the chin moves down a little bit closer to your collarbones, feel that the back of the neck is now stretching and elongating. Okay, here comes Sticky. Let me get her in. Oh no. All right. Well, we'll keep moving here to see if she comes back. Okay, so again, chin down and up just a few times. All right, so let's pause there with your chin in the center and then move your head. I encourage you to do this really slowly so that you can feel. Sometimes we have maybe a little discomfort from how we slept, but really slowly just take your head side to side so that you can use the weight of the head to lightly stretch your neck. So if I could give an instruction to be like slow dance with your neck here for a moment, just really gently letting that movement almost be like a light little rock. Good. And then let's pause once again with your head here in the center and lightly, 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 and again, slowly turn your neck each direction. And pay attention, right? So if you have discomfort, where does it begin? Good. All right, so now let's just let the neck be here for a moment, and I want you to pay attention to your shoulders. So let's begin a little roll of your shoulders up alongside the ears, back and down. Good. So just the whole way through. Notice any little popping, clicking discomfort you feel in that joint. See if you can make that movement around that place a little bit slower. Good. Let's take the shoulders and let them travel the other way. Good. And now let's exhale and kind of do a slow motion shimmy forward. As you take that slow motion shimmy forward, really feel each scapula moving forward and then moving back. So you're kind of wringing out through the back of your scapula. Good. All right, so then from here, we're gonna just pause and let your rib cage start to move side to side. And this can be a smaller movement, or if you have more stretch, more space, you can make here between the ribs and the hips. All these little movements, again, these are things you can do. Set a timer, take 2 minutes in the middle of your workday, and just kind of go through your joints. Good. All right, so then from here, we're gonna exhale, reach your rib cage back, let the head come down, and then feel a big stretch in between your shoulder blades. Let's inhale, bring that all the way back up. Now squeeze, pull the shoulder blades together as you sit tall. Good, let's try that one more time. That slow lowering, allowing the muscles in the neck here to stretch. Good, all the way back up. Holding tall for just a moment, bring your palms out in front. Let's exhale, pull the elbows towards one another behind the back. So stretch, reach the arms out, and exhale, pull the muscles. So one of the things we can do by doing this little gentle work in your upper body and around your spine is a lot of times if you're holding tension somewhere, secret little tension, it's going to affect everything, the carriage of your head, the carriage of your shoulders. And so when you get in there and you just move and you just explore and pay attention to the sensations, suddenly we're kind of able to sit taller because we've woken up those muscles. So let's take a moment and now stretch to each side. Good. And try this a few times. Again, paying attention to that. Trying to enact the sensation of floating. Right? So this is, again, a great way to just feel your core is to move in slow motion. Good. I want you to pause on one side, and then with that opposite arm, just press up like you're going to push the ceiling a little closer to the sky. So waking up the arm. Good. Let's exhale, come right back up. Try that on the opposite side. Push and reach. Send the heel of your hand, the palm up. So again, for those of us who've done a lot of typing, a lot of down dog, this can be a very useful stretch here for the hand. Good. Let's exhale, come right back up. Bring all your fingers together. The fingers are going to reach underneath and towards the armpits. Feel that stretch through the top of your wrist. Good. Turn your fingertips up and curl in slightly. Good. And now exhale, bring the hands behind the head, sitting tall. Good. Making this a little mild, little back bend. So weight of the head moves to the hands, chest opens, deepens. Barr, you'll have to remind me after class, where did you hike? You'll have to tell me. Good. Exhale, let the head come down. One more time. Good. And then we're gonna put your hands on the top of your head, get all the way up nice and tall. Bring your fingertips out and then roll your inner elbows all the way up and let that kind of travel into your chest. Why don't you take your left hand to your right ear and lightly pull your head away. This will be a deep stretch through the side of your neck. Exhale, lightly let that arm move out and away. Opposite side, otro lado. Good, stretch away. Good, so now from here, let's exhale, release, rock your weight back on your sits bones, And just bring your two legs out for a moment. So we'll inhale, come up. And then exhale, begin to reach one knee, or one armpit rather, towards your knee. So you'll come all the way over. It's like you're trying to lengthen the sides of the ribs along the thigh bone. Good. Use an exhale as you lower. Good. Letting gravity deepen your stretch here. Good. Just try this one more time. And then we're going to exhale and move across your body. So I'm going to take kind of opposite elbow towards my shin bone. Good. I'm going to create a little half circle with my arm as I go, just to again continue to put movement there in my shoulder joint. Exhaling, open. Good. So you kind of roll that arm up and out like you were drawing a rainbow. Good. All the way back. Very nice. And now from here, let's stretch. Take your two arms up, opposite hand to ankle. Keep your knees bent for now. I'm going to put opposite hand on my sacrum. Move my sacrum in, kind of press with my hand. Move that low part of my back in. Oh, and just deeply, deeply stretch. I can feel this in between my scapula. We got a lovely rendition of Baba Black Sheep happening in this house. So now take your opposite hand to ankle, take the back hand to your sacrum, move that in and pull across. Very nice. So we're going to inhale, take that up. Okay, because Bart's knees are bugging him, I'm inclined to go to the floor and get our legs up. So let's do this. Legs to the side. So this is my left side. And I'm going to slowly lower down to the floor, keep my blanket, keep my extra padding. So I'm just going to begin by bringing my hands here for a moment to my feet. So anytime after a long hike, long run, long day standing, spending a little time getting your legs in the air, moving in the opposite direction is always a good idea to help kind of encourage the swelling in the lower joints to kind of take a break. So let's try this. So with your knees bent over your chest, I want you to exhale and lightly lift one leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, pulling that leg right back down. So you're going to stretch, reach up and out. Good. And then exhale, bring that leg down. As you do this, feel your belly deeply drawing in, connected to that movement. Good. And you can think of almost more of a leg swing here, letting the leg come down and draw in, stretching the opposite leg out and up, down and in. Good. Aiming to get the best extension you can get out of your knee. Feel that happen through your quadriceps, so those low muscles on your femur bone. Extend the knee there. And then the hamstring pulls it right back in. Good. So just feel those sensations. Try this just a couple more times. Good. So we're going to pause now with your right leg lifted in the air. And I want you to draw circles now. Just lightly draw some circles with that leg. Feel your torso released long on the floor. Good. You can work the inner outer rotation of that leg just a little bit. Good. So again, all those attachments there in the leg might be a little cranky after a hard effort. Okay. So let's bend the knee, bring it back in, stretch and extend the left leg, la pierna izquierda. And then we're making circles, haciendo círculos con la pierna. Good. Let's take those circles and draw them the other way. Very nice. And then from here, let's exhale. Bring both feet just lightly into the floor. Send your hips over and on to one side. And then you're going to exhale, push through your feet and roll to the opposite side. So you're going to take this little rolling action a few times. Push the feet down. As you push the feet down, move your hips forward, right? So the idea is that you're going to stretch across your hip crease. Good. And that act of pushing the feet in really helps you deepen that sensation in your hips. Good. Try this just a couple more times. Good. This is also great work for your core, getting your abdominal muscles to really do the movement of your torso. Good. Let's pause right back here in the center. Sweep your hands here back behind your two legs or up on your shin bones for a moment. Move your sacrum down. So the sacrum, that lowest part of your spine, is going to pull towards the floor. And now let's open your knees. Take your hands here to your feet. Pull your shoulder blades in, down the back. Just hang out here for a moment. Good. Fold at the elbows and get a big opening. Good. If it feels nice to work on extending one leg out to the side, see what happens when you give that a go. Big stretch for the hamstrings. Good. Let's exhale, bring that leg in. Same thing, extend the leg to the side, staying mindful of your knees and hips. This doesn't have to be a full extension. Obviously, whatever your leg is saying yes to this morning. Good. Let's exhale. Bring that back in. If you want to practice full extension of the knees or just any extension of the knees, really, here in this posture, this is a good way to find a little length. Good. Give it a couple more breaths. Again, still moving your sacrum down, your shoulder blades together. Again, if you've had soreness in your neck, make sure you're looking away from the computer. Chin over each shoulder. Good. Let's exhale, release. Bring your feet back in for a moment. And now I want you to take your two legs up. You're going to cross at the shin bones. Good. And then with your legs crossed here at the shins, the right over the left, draw a few little circles here with the legs. Good, 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 good. Let's draw those circles around the other way. But this might even be a little massage for your low back as well. Beautiful. Let's pause and now slide that cross. So now your two legs are crossing one another. And I want you to push your right thigh into your left thigh and then push the left thigh into the right. The main thing is on the outside of your right knee, you want to feel that IT band really close to where it attaches to the knee, getting a big stretch. To deepen that stretch, flex the foot. Good. Let's fold at your knees here. Good. You can rock the back a little bit, or if it feels nice, take opposite hand to ankle and just lightly aid this stretch of the legs. Estirando. Good. So now you may feel this stretch a little bit up closer towards the hips. Good. One last little thing we'll do before we try this on the other side. So lifting the two legs up. Now you can do Gurudasana legs. So this bottom leg hooks all the way around. Good. And you can try a little engagement of your core, lifting and lowering the legs here just a few times. Good. And then you can also place the feet on the floor, rock your hips side to side. Oh, heaven. Heaven in a little stretch here. So just sliding the hips side to side, pushing through the feet. If your legs don't hook all the way around, just crossed at the thigh bones, obviously is perfectly fine here. And we'll give you a good stretch. Okay, so now let's pause there in your center. Just for fun, can you lift your pelvis up? So really give some good work to your left. I think it's your left. Yeah. Good. Let's exhale, release that bend in the knees. Two legs come up, unfold, shake them out just a little. And then you're going to take your left leg. So you're going to begin this whole little bit of business with your legs kind of crossed the shins and ankles. And they can support each other here as you begin a little just circling, circling, circling with the legs. So again, you might connect to your core. You might feel that happening pretty deeply. Good, as the legs travel all the way around. Beautiful. Let's make sure we take those circles now in the opposite direction. Good, so an engagement of your core as the legs are traveling. Beautiful. And then we're going to pause back here in your center. Let the legs move more across the body. Put a flex in your feet. Send the left thigh now really deeply into your right thigh. And then you can pull back, bolster that with the right thigh. So again, this should feel like a pretty deep stretch of your left IT band, the outside here of this leg. Good. You should also feel like your belly muscles are working to help you here. And then we're going to exhale and lightly just fold. So again, you can rock your back a little bit. And then you can also take your hands here to your ankles if that feels nice and appropriate for your hips, and this will deepen. So I said ankles. It could be your knees, could be your shins, could be your ankles, wherever it feels comfortable for you to reach. Good. And then if it feels nice from this posture here, you can hook the legs around so the bottom. So again, you've gone into kind of Guru Dasana legs, and you can lightly engage your core. Feel your navel pull in, lift back up, navel pulls in, the two legs lift. Good, so feeling a lot of stability there in your center. Beautiful. And then once again, we're gonna place that foot back down on the floor. So again, if your legs are not hooked in a Guru Dasana, just being crossed at the thigh bones is obviously perfectly wonderful. And now you're gonna rock your hips side to side, lado y lado. Stretching all the way. Oh, so you'll just notice as this stretch changes, go a couple different ways. Beautiful. So then from here, let's push that bottom foot into the floor. Allow the pelvis to rise up. Good. Use an exhale. Bring it down. Lift the two legs. And then a light little bicycle. So you sort of bring the legs back in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So let's stay folded at your two knees. And then exhale. Do you want to rock up onto your sitting bones? And we'll try a little rocking a few times. I'm going to keep my hands behind my thighs. Scoop into my center. Take a little rock. And then come back up. Take a little rock. Coming back up. Good. Try to balance there for a moment. So not on your neck, obviously, but on your shoulder blades. And you can turn this into a little Supta Paschimottanasana. So the legs over your torso, your hands still connected to your thighs. Again, if this feels safe for your neck, shouldn't be any pressure on the neck. And then you can exhale, find that rock right back up. So from here, let's just fold toward the computer screen. We're going to do again a little bit more for legs, knees, and hips. So let's keep your bottom leg bent and then begin circulando. So I've put my left arm underneath me. This is my right arm up. Mirror me if that's easier. And then we're going to take this a few times each direction. Good. Good. So this is just like a little bicycling action. Let's take it the other way. And I can really pay attention to your knee joint. Beautiful. Let's pause with the leg behind you. Hand to your ankle and allow the leg to stretch back. So again, deepening the stretch here. Okay, let's bring the leg back forward. Two ways you could do this: hand to the foot or just hand behind the thigh, and allow that leg to stretch and reach away. So it's now stretching forward. Let's bend the knee, bring it back. Take a hand now to the back of the leg, let the femur bone stretch up. Again, hand can really go anywhere in the leg. Just create that connection. And let the thigh move out and away from the hip socket. Good. Let's bend that knee. Take your hand back down. Exhale, lift up. So try stretching your neck back the other way just a couple times. Beautiful. If you've got that top leg behind you, try this. Reach your two hands back on the diagonal and just stretch. Oh, that's nice to me. Just stretch out this hip. Good. So I guess I'm adding a little kind of pump through my triceps just because that feels nice, letting my weight move back a little. It's also helping my arms feel active here. Good. So now your top or your back leg, stretch it in front over your bottom leg. And then we're just going to switch sides. So I'm going to come let my forearm rest here on the floor for a moment. Just to begin, I'm going to lift my top leg and then bicycle through it. So again, I think little light bicycling exercises can be very therapeutic to the knees because you're just letting the knees do everything they do well without having to put really any weight on the joint itself, just gravity. Good. Go ahead and reverse that direction, keeping the hips stable as you go. Good. Feeling good. Back of the hip as the leg moves back, and then the front of the hip as the leg moves forward. All right, let's pause. Hand for a moment here to your ankle. A big, big, big stretch through the front of the hip. Good. And then from here, you'll let this leg, it's going to travel forward. Choose where you want to support it here. If it's from your knee joint, that's great. If you can reach your toes, why not? Really get into your calf. Big stretch there. Good. And then we're going to exhale, bring that knee in. And again, the hand can come behind the thigh as you kind of aid the lift and external rotation, or the hand can go to the foot. Still remembering you're going to move the femur bone out and away from the hip socket. Beautiful. Exhale, release, bringing that leg back down. I think that was, so now we're going to exhale, pull up. That's what we're doing. Oh, yay. Take your neck. Sometimes a lot of lateral flexion it's a lot of work here for your trapezius, or these muscles on the side of the neck. So make sure you create a little pattern of releasing. And then bringing your two arms forward. Exhale, pull them back. And let the hips stretch forward as the torso moves back. Again, if taking a little movement with your triceps is helpful, give that a go. Good. And now this time to transition out of this pose, take your two hands in front of you, and then you'll push with your feet to lift the hips, and then come through for a down dog. So let the head melt down here. From this down dog with your tailbone lifted, with your heels reaching away from the toes, the head reaching away from the tailbone, I want you to exhale. Let's just push our weight back towards your hands. So if you have a blanket in the middle of your mat, I think you can leave it here, or at least fold it up and leave it here, and we'll use it as a thing to help us stand, step over. So move this slightly back and maybe we'll see better. So let's try this. With my right leg, my up screen leg, I'm going to step over my blanket. Okay, bring my hands to my hips, and then just exhale, begin a bend in my front knee. So you may need to adjust your feet a little bit. You may want to walk your front foot out. Definitely your back toes want to face the top corner of your mat, so they turn slightly out. You want to feel the weight of your body move into that front foot and spread, so the weight doesn't go to one side of the foot, but it feels even across the ball of the foot, even through the ankle, even through the knee. Good. So let's hold that deep bend for a moment. And now I want you to exhale, sweep the arms up, bring them right back down. Sweep the arms up as you move into this back bend. Really feel your calf get a big stretch. Let's try that big sweep up one more time. Good. We're going to exhale. Bring your hands to your low back, and then slowly bring yourself over this leg. You can melt your head fully, extend your knee as best you can, keeping your hips, the sitting bones even to one another. Beautiful. So now we'll push through your feet. So feel that in the back foot, feel it in the front foot to help you stay strong in your legs. Exhale, coming up. Let's turn your toes in. All sets of toes in here for a moment. Keeping your hands on your low back. You can even put your hands on your sits bones. Move your weight, move your sits bones into your hands as you begin to float and come all the way down. That will help you stay, more vertical in your legs. Good. So get a big stretch back there. Good. Same thing. Taking a breath, releasing your head. And then as you come up, same thing. Push your hands into your sitting bones for a moment as you lift. Just see if that deepens your stretch. We're going to pivot towards the opposite leg. So now this is my left leg. My back leg, I'm going to straighten it. And remember, the toes turn slightly out. And my hip is going to pull, the front hip pulls slightly back. That's to create some more balance in my pelvis. And you want to feel that the two sits bones, particularly your front sitting bone, is pulling towards your back one. And then you're going to bend and straighten the front knee. Pay attention to the bend. You may need to walk this foot out a little to make it feel better. Also, you should be getting a good stretch through your Achilles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The stretch through the psoas. Now we're going to add our arms and exhale. So as the arms come up, follow the arms with your gaze. Oh, goodness. And exhale, coming right back up. Inhale, give this a few breaths. Just holding here for a moment in esta postura. Good. We're going to place your hands on your low back. Feel that evenness through your sits as you slowly stretch over your front leg. Beautiful. Let's exhale. Push through both feet. So create that firmness, deep engagement as you lift. All sets of toes turn in once again. Good. And so from here, let's take your palms, reach them together back behind you, and then let the top of your head come up. As you fold over, the arms can stretch away from your back. Your head may touch the floor, it may not. It's not a goal. Really think about continuing to lift through the sits, engage through the knees, spread and push through the feet. And if we can do those things, we are golden. Let's exhale, come up, sweep the arms out now. And I'm going to turn my right, maybe they're your left toes out. After I turn the toes out, I'm going to still try to balance my pelvis. So by that, I mean, my hip may try to go wonky. I'm going to pull this hip back. Feel these two bones level to one another. This bone shouldn't be jutting forward. Your pubic symphysis should feel like you have a balanced triangle right here. Good. And then you're going to bend your externally rotated knee. So the real trick here in this external rotation knee bend is keeping the opposite hip pulling back. And this will help you stretch the inner thigh. And it also provides balance to your sacroiliac area, so you're not creating unnecessary dysfunction. Good. I guess sometimes there's necessary dysfunction, but we're going to avoid the unnecessary dysfunction. So let's pause now, stretch your two arms out, and just feel, lightly circle the arms here. Circle them the other way. Good. And then you're going to exhale, bring the hand of the externally rotated leg to the inner thigh, and you're going to just slide, slide, slide down the leg. So again, the trick will be keeping that balance between your hips. Good. Pushing down with your front foot, lengthening through the sides of both ribs. You can take your gaze up for a moment. Beautiful. And then we're going to exhale. Come all the way back up. Two hands to your hips. Turn the toes in on that externally rotated foot and then reach your toes out. So now I'm going to keep reaching. This is my right hip. Maybe it's your left hip. Good. The other thing that's important here is tracking that your knee bends and it comes right over your heel, right? And that you can see your big toe here because you're letting the thigh bone move out as you bend. These sensations are always important, and it's always important to remember them as you do them. I've done this, I don't know how many times, for I don't know how many years, and it is always useful to remind my body, how do I want to move? What, and that's really that ongoing mantra, the ongoing question, how do I want to move? Good. So let's pause for a moment and swing the arms out. As the arms come out, pull the scapula together. Good. So you can feel your weight balance. This time, palms down, palms up, bringing out your shoulders. Good. So let's pause now with your palms up. Slide the hand of the bent leg down, down, down the leg. You decide how far you go here. You decide how much you lengthen your knee. Good. Check in with your hips. Sometimes they tend to kind of gravitate backwards. You want to pull the hips forward as best you can. Good. Take your gaze up to the bottom, the top hand, and feel a stretch across your neck. Excellent. Let's push through your feet. Bring yourself all the way up. Turn the sets of toes all the way in. Good. This time, opposite hand is going to move across your body to the opposite ankle, and then bring your hand overhead. Opposite hand is going to come across your back. Good. Let's exhale, sweep ourselves back up into a standing position, and then you'll exhale, reach across your body. Good. This time we're going to inhale, walk your two hands out forward towards the front of you. I'm going to step one leg, so this will be my right leg, towards my left, and then slowly set my hips down. Let me know how that goes. More or less okay? Excellent. So let's do some deep seated stretches and twists for a moment. So I recommend sitting up on a blanket here. Let's start with your right leg extended out. I'm going to come this way so maybe we can see a little better. Right leg extended out. And so that means your left knee is bent. Feel you get your heel basically as close to your sitting bone as you can get it. Then we're going to inhale, sweep your two arms up. And exhale, come down. So the hands can reach, again, this is anywhere on the leg. And you're going to give yourself a big stretch. Good. We're going to inhale, sit up. And I'm going to take now, so same hand, same leg, just wrap my arms around my back, around the leg as I sit tall. Just breathe here for a moment. Good. We'll inhale, unfold. And now I'm going to wrap myself towards this bent leg. Good. So one of the things my teachers used to say is slide breakfast. Take that oatmeal all the way across towards your thigh. And then this arm can come to the outside of the leg. You could even move it down so that gets the knee and the shoulder a little closer together. And then, so stay where your brain is happy and not confused. The next thing you could do is take this forearm. Do you see the one I'm moving? So it's on the same side, and you could hook it around. And again, just stay right there if that's where you've gotten to. And then this opposite hand could come across. Give this a few breaths. then we're going to unwind all that. Shake out the arms just a little. And let's try it on the other side. So now I'm going to extend the left leg, draw my right leg up as close as I can to my sitting bone. Drop the thigh bone into the floor. Inhale, coming up. And then exhale, take a long, long stretch over this leg. Good. So again, hands come anywhere that works for hands. If you're interested in getting these binds to work one day, a good practice is to get this upward thigh, your bent leg thigh, to hug towards your body. The adduction of the leg becomes really important in helping you get the binds. So now we're going to do first our outward bind. So that's just the hand, the foot, the two hands coming together as you move your torso in opposition, right? So from here, the arm, if you get the knee and the shoulder together, the arms wrap around. And then I'm just trying to sit tall, sit back up tall once again. Now we're going to exhale, come all the way up. And then this time, so start thinking about that, sliding the breakfast, right? Move your whole abdomen across your body. And from there, just in that deep twist, in that deep stretch. Good. So you can start, maybe it's your humerus bone and your knee that come together. This is great. This is a great place to stretch. So then if it becomes comfortable, then you can move the whole humerus bone to the outside of your thigh bone. If you're newer to the class and you're newer to just moving your bones around in this way, just take in the amount of information that's necessary and then totally disregard me. Just do what is going to provide a useful sensation for you. So now the forearm, this guy, your antebrazo, you're going to wrap it around the shin. And this is a big, so you see how much that front of your shoulder has to open up here. So again, if this is all you were doing, just seeing what your shoulder wants to do, that's great. And then if you pick this opposite arm up, whoa, there's your core muscles. And then you can wrap your hands there together behind you or just reach them towards each other. It's really fine any old way. Give that another couple big breaths. And then we're going to exhale, just unfold. Roll your shoulders, shake out your hands. Let me check the time. Good. Okay, so we do have time. I'm going to turn this way now to try to do a Janu Shirsasana sequence. So let's stretch your right leg out. I'm coming to face the computer screen, so go opposite me or same way, doesn't matter. So now this foot, I'm going to bend the opposite knee, my left knee, put that foot up into the thigh bone. So just rest here for a moment. Good. Letting the femur bone get comfortable where it is. I'm going to inhale once again. Take the arms up, feel the long spine. And then exhale, calm down the leg. Anywhere that feels good, anywhere that feels nice. I always like to fold my toes back towards my body because you'll notice when you do that, you feel it right up there where the hamstring attaches to the sitting bone. And that's what I mean when we talk about the whole back body. When your foot is tight, the bottom of your foot is tight, probably your Achilles is tight, probably your calf is tight, probably the hamstring, probably the low back, the whole back body. It's like an energy system. So now your ribs, opposite ribs are going to kind of move across. Woo, and then there you'll feel your IT band. Beautiful. We're going to do one more stretch in this family of poses. So what I'm going to do is take this foot up And take a second before you do this pose, point and flex your foot a little bit on this bent leg. Then the foot can move up to your hip crease. So this will feel and be different for everybody. Maybe the foot just rests on your thigh. Maybe it goes back to the inner thigh. Or the foot can come in. And if the foot comes in, you can lightly, lightly encourage the knee joint to move down. Good. So any amount the knee joint is like, yes, that is a useful stretch for me. And then you've got another little binding option. So the same hand of your bent leg, just wave it around, then reach it behind your back. Good. So if you have very long arms, the hand may come touch the toe. If it doesn't, just leave your hand on your back. That's great. And then exhale and fold once again over this leg. Good. If you can get those toes to fold back towards you, how wonderful. You get that extra deep stretch. We're gonna release the arms. Again, shake them out. Unfold that leg, bend and straighten the knee. 3 big stretches for that leg. We're gonna try it on the other side. So extension through the left leg. Now the right leg moves in. Oh, good. Okay. And then let the knee joint move down. As much as it will, as much as it's interested in, let the 2 thighs press into one another. Let's inhale. As the arms reach up, the whole spine lengthens. Let's exhale. Fold over your leg. Again, remember any amount. And then remember what you can do to deepen the stretch for you. Good. So just give it a few breaths. Respirando profundamente. Beautiful. So now let's think about our rib cages. You're going to take opposite ribs towards your shin bone. You can pull back with the arms slightly. Good. And then from here, we're going to exhale, bring ourselves back up. Remember with this foot, point and flex. So I don't want you to create any irritation in your ankle by lifting over the thigh. So another thing you could do is as you move the leg, before we move it into the hip crease or over the thigh, just let it rock here for a sec. And that might, again, you could just do this. It feels great. And then from here, the outside edge, so this 5th metatarsal bone, is going to come to the edge of your hip. If it works that way, if not, just ankle to thigh is also great. Good. So then we're going to sit up for a moment. Let this knee lightly, lightly get a stretch downward. Nothing to force, nothing to shove. Certainly don't apply pressure with the hand. Good. And then reach the same hand, same leg. Reach that hand behind your back and just let it be there. The hand can reach your foot. Great. Again, it shouldn't be a huge struggle. So you just want to feel the hand slide through the back. And then the opposite arm can lift up and you'll stretch forward. Good. Give this one more solid big breath. And we'll exhale, come out of it. Let it release. Unfold the legs. So now, let me see. I think it's, oh yeah, it's let's go down to the mat and just take 5 or 10 breaths together. So do something that will make you feel extra comfortable. I'm gonna roll up my blanket and then Again, sore knees, friends, Bart. If you want to, this is a great, you're still feeling discomfort later, spend a little time just lying on the floor with a blanket propped under the knees. And everybody can try that right now in honor of Bart's sore knees. Good. Um, let your bones here just melt into the floor. Let your breath travel fully, deeply through you. Allow your tongue, your jaw, your throat to relax. And then slowly, when you feel ready, just begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Let's circle the ankles, circle the wrists. You can draw your knees right and left over your chest. We can rock the back side to side, front to back. And then we're going to roll to the right side. Push with our arms, come up into a seated position. Bring the palms together before the heart. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your attention, your awareness, your energy, these are gifts. Thank you for sharing them with us. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.